Welcome! You're listening to Making Relationships Work. We're a company focused on women and their marriage. We lead and teach women just like you how to grow into and access, whenever you need to, your wise woman self, the part of you who is deeply connected to your purpose, your innate wisdom, and your husband and family. We teach women in marriages how to rebuild trust and connection, to work through conflicts, no matter how deep, no matter how painful, and to lead your marriage to a place where the two of you experience marriage mastery. This podcast is about learning the systems and techniques that truly work to reconnect you back into your marriage so that you can experience the freedom that comes with a masterful marriage. Since this podcast is totally free, if you're getting tons of value and you want to support us and make sure that you get more of this good stuff, subscribe below and rate and review our podcast today. Now, on to the show. Hello, Women Making Marriages Work. Hello, Making Relationships Work podcast. Hello, Making Relationships Work YouTube. I am so happy to be back with you tonight, talking with you about a really important topic, one that we've covered a little bit before, but not the same way we're going to do it tonight. Tonight we are talking about infidelity, that is, affairs. So this is a topic that I hear about in the work that I do most weeks, multiple times most weeks, truthfully. And what we're going to talk about tonight is, what is infidelity? What does it mean when it happens? What do you do if it happens? Is your relationship salvageable? There's the word. If it happens, how do you work it through? And how do you successfully and truly and authentically have it be something that is worked through so that both people feel safe enough to progress on with the marriage? So this is what we're talking about today. And really where we need to start is a definition, which is, what is infidelity? What is infidelity? So I like to define infidelity as an emotional safety break. And what that means is there's lying, there's hiding, there's this sense of a negative experience in the relationship where something is happening that the other person can't see or isn't aware of. And so what they think they're looking at in terms of their partner is not actually the truth. It's like there's a secret room inside their partner, and that room has just been revealed, and the partner knew about it, but the person who was married to the partner who had the affair didn't know about it. And so, of course, what you've got then is a very different understanding of how the world is operating. And so when you are the person who has found out about the affair, which is basically a secret room inside the person you're married to, it can be extremely devastating. In fact, when you're confronting infidelity, you're really coping with what we call betrayal. Betrayal of trust, betrayal of safety, betrayal of commitment, betrayal of connection, betrayal of a long-term future, betrayal of a sense of peace and harmony and us against the world, betrayal of identity, betrayal of the family, if you have children, betrayal of the vows of marriage, and so it goes on. And so we know that out of the difficult situations that a married couple has to face as they traverse adulthood together and all that entails, we know that betrayal is one of the worst experiences that somebody can have. You have feelings of sadness, you have feelings of shock and paralysis, you have anger, frustration, helplessness, because you can't change what has happened and you didn't see it most of the time. And so there is this sense of a very deep wound that is seemingly unfixable. And yet the person who hurts you so much is the person you love more than anyone in the world. And so there's this paradox. The very worst thing is the person that hurts you is the one that can heal you. And therein lies the opportunity for us to do the work to deeply repair this experience in your marriage. Now, when you're working to confront the infidelity and you're working to cope with this betrayal and making sure that your feelings are heard, your husband's feelings are heard, and you're having this sense of honoring yourself by communicating your feelings and ensuring those feelings are understood, and that your partner who has had the affair is remorseful, you need to have a sense of belief that that's true so that you can start to rebuild that sense of safety. Because what tends to happen is that couples in this space, the person who's had the affair, who is remorseful, has a sense that if I say sorry to you once really profoundly, that's enough. And what we know for sure is that that isn't how repairs from infidelity work. So when we let's back up a little bit and talk about why infidelity happens. Let's talk about what leads us to having infidelity. And really, it's about this idea that the person who's had the affair hasn't protected the marriage because they've allowed themselves to experience the bubble that comes in the affair with the increased or heightened sense of oxytocin or the love drug, essentially. And the illicitness of the affair means that most of the time it's a break from reality where everything feels dreamlike and enhanced and kind of wonderful, but it's not real life. And so infidelity occurs because the person having the affair hasn't chosen to protect the marriage that they've committed, or the partner they've committed to. And it also comes from a couple of different spaces. Sometimes it's opportunistic. Here's an opportunity, I'll just do it. Other times it comes from a need to feel better. And we can see across the internet the rise of pornography, the rise of emotional breaks in marriage, the rise of getting opportunities to connect with other people with no ramifications. And a really startling research finding is that only 26% of men view online chatting or online sex conversations to be a betrayal or an infidelity. 26% would say that that's a betrayal. And so we're looking at the modern day crisis in a marriage when we're talking infidelity or we're talking about online infidelity. Because either way, it's a betrayal. A betrayal is a betrayal is a betrayal, no matter how you cut it. And what we really are talking about tonight is how do you recover a relationship where the very foundations of trust and safety and commitment have been violated to such an extent that the marriage doesn't exist anymore. That's what we're talking about. And let me tell you something. It is possible. It is possible to use this break in trust, this break in commitment, this break in safety, and to really look at what has happened and why. What are the contributing factors? Particularly, we look at why the participating partner, the husband, in this case, because we're talking hypothetically about a husband here, why he has chosen to not protect the marriage and what has been the reasoning for that. So we're looking to make sense of the landscape here. And we need to make sense of it because without making sense of why this has happened, it will happen again because there is a fundamental disconnect in the marriage where safety, commitment, and trust have been decimated. There is none left. Yet, what is left is this sense of love for the partner, this sense of family created with the partner, and this sense of wanting that person who harmed you to help you with your healing. And most therapists aren't good in this space. It's very highly, very specific training that allows true healing and integration to happen when an affair has happened, when a betrayal has happened. And so what we need to guard you against essentially is not trying to fix this on your own. It doesn't work. In fact, the longer we leave the pain of a betrayal, the more damage that is done and the higher likelihood for separation occurs. So betrayal needs to be worked on very quickly after it has been revealed so that we can contain and hold and keep safe the couple that are in the betrayal experience together. That's really important. The other thing is If you're going to be talking about it as a team before you go and get help, you're going to want to watch how you do it. You're going to have to try and stay calm, try and not hurt each other, try and share your feelings, try and not attack each other, and avoid those statements where you blame and you get critical and defensive. And of course, after a betrayal, that is very hard to do. And it's something that most couples can't do. But the problem with not being able to do it or not doing it is that you add more and more and more damage to the relationship. And so, if a betrayal has happened in your relationship, I really want you to book a call with me. You can book a call using the call booking link, which I'll pop in the comments below. And you can also watch our masterclass, but it doesn't speak specifically to betrayal. But we cover that in the work that we do. And we hold an evidence based, efficacious approach to healing trauma that comes from a betrayal in a marriage. So, in order for you to recover from a betrayal as a couple, as two individuals, you both have to be able to show up and do the work. And very often, what happens is there's a small window after a betrayal is revealed for that to happen. The very last thing you want to do is to try and solve this yourself when you're in that window of that betrayal being revealed, because you get one shot. Don't mess it up. Don't give it to someone outside the marriage that can't handle it. Don't try and solve it in the marriage, because you will find that it is almost impossible to look after the hurt person in the way that needs to happen for both people to get the healing they need. And that's where you need very specific, very well contained, very stable and loving holding of the two of you as you navigate this. Because the thing is, communication has been shattered. The repair to the relationship probably feels impossible, and yet the only thing that you want, because this is your person. This is the one that you love more than anything. And this person is the one that holds the key for you to be able to heal and move on. And so, if this is speaking directly to you, I want you to book a call with us so that we can get you going and have the two of you work through this in a safe way that helps you both feel contained, heard, understood, validated, accepted, and for this to be truly integrated as a painful experience that allows you to put down those suitcases of pain and be able to truly move on together and to create a life where this doesn't happen again, where it's us against the world, where it's the two of you feeling deeply in sync, very connected, and creating the life and the love and the marriage and the legacy that you want. All of that is possible so long as you are very careful about how you manage the next steps after a betrayal is revealed. One of the biggest things that is the hardest is hearing the details about the encounters, the affair encounters that happened in the marriage. The affair has to end in order for a marriage to heal, and all communication with an affair, with the person involved in the affair, has to stop. Those things have to happen immediately. I want you to know what it feels like to be safe again. I want the two of you to know what it feels like to walk through this forest of pain, but still be able to be holding hands most of the time, where you're able to both genuinely repair what went so terribly wrong, where you're able to rebuild in a way that keeps you safe and guarded against this happening again, where this betrayal can actually make you stronger as a couple. Now, many of the women that I work with tell me that their families that they come from, their family of origin, their mothers, their fathers, their siblings, their close friends tell you to leave the person that cheated on you, that betrayed your trust. And for some couples, that will be the right choice. But for most couples, it's not the right thing. In fact, the very right thing is to be able to work out what went wrong, process the pain that is existing on both sides, and to be able to set up a new relationship for the two people to inhabit and grow in together, whilst always tending to the wound that a betrayal leaves. It is entirely possible to repair, to genuinely repair and reconnect a marriage that has had betrayal in it. It is entirely doable. It happens every day. It is truly possible. So if you are feeling like somebody who has been betrayed, or you have been the betrayer, and it's time to repair and to work through what has happened and to be able to grow your marriage into something where it is stable and committed and connected and kind, where you can work through how this happened so that it doesn't happen again, and the two of you can go on to have a wonderful life, a wonderful marriage, and leave a legacy of a healthy, happy couple that went through something hard and came out the other side successfully, then I want to talk to you. I want you to book a call with our team. I want to get really clear on what's working, what's not working, what you've tried, where you are. We'll get all of that very clear, and then we'll set out a plan for recovery. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. You're not alone. This is super hard. I understand that, but we got you. So book that call and we'll talk to you soon. Much love. Thank you for tuning into today's show. If you're feeling fired up and you're ready to grow and you want to know more about how to do that, here is what I want you to do now. I want you to watch my marriage masterclass. This masterclass will show you how my clients have turned their struggling marriages into thriving marriages, even without their husband's buy-in. How my clients have gone from cycles of poor communication, disconnect and loneliness to being teammates and soulmates with their husbands again, even after they've already tried everything. And the proven system my clients use to start transforming their marriages in minutes, not years, because life is too precious to waste one more minute in an unhappy and unfulfilling marriage. So if this is what you're looking for, I want you to click the link below and take a look at my masterclass.